everyone, welcome to my channel So Little Time. My name is Karen. I'm here today to go through with you the makes that I made during October. I can't actually believe that October is nearly done and tomorrow's the 31st, so I had a busy month with all the makes that I wanted to do, but I didn't actually get all of them done. I've just not managed to get the ultimate pyjamas made that I wanted to, and that's purely because we had half term during October for a week, so I didn't get as much sewing done as I wanted to. It was a really busy week with 3 children off, so yeah, my evenings I was just tired, so I didn't really get a chance to do much in the evening. So that I will add on to my November plans, because I do want to get those done because it's turned out such cold now. And that's, I do apologise for the lighting in here because it's so grey outside today. I just can't get the lighting right, so I'm trying to put the Halloween pumpkin in the back to give me a bit more light. I've got the light on, I think it's rubbish. I also tried to put a bit more blusher on. Probably looks ghastly, but just to give me a bit more colour as I'm being washed out. Anyway, so I'm going to add those ultimate pyjamas onto my November plans, because also as well that it's a brushed check cotton fabric, and obviously I need to pattern match, and I didn't really take that into consideration. It was only when I was cutting out the first set of legs that I realised. I was like, oh no, now I'm going to have to line up the back to try and get them accurate so that the checks run around, or maybe I shouldn't be so, I don't know about it, you know. So anyway, I'll show you what I have made during this month. I've been quite productive, more productive than I thought I was going to, because I actually forgot that I had a piece of bunting to do for to hand into my local parish council for this World War I centenary, as it's been 100 years since the World War I finished. So I think it finished 1918, and obviously it's 2018, so yeah, 100 years ago. And I was asked to basically make a design to put onto a piece of bunting that they're going to be putting in the local village hall, and loads of other sewers have had a go at it, and quilters and cross stitch people have done it as well. And so I actually have been procrastinating that, so I wasn't really sure what design to put on the front, but in the end I decided to go with the barracks, so the sandbags and the barbed wire and things, and then you had to put the name of the soldier on that piece of bunting as well. So that was one thing that I needed to get done for this month, because it needed to be handed in by tomorrow, the 31st, so I handed it in today. So I don't actually have it here to show you. If I can, I will try and insert a picture here to show you what it looks like, as I did really quite enjoy doing that, and I actually did it by doing freehand machine embroidery. And I don't do a lot of that. I've had a go at it before, and to be honest, I'm pretty rubbish. But I think because I've been doing quite a bit of sewing recently, I've got quite confident with the sewing machine and going quite quick on it. And I found that I had a go with that, and I'm a lot more steady than I used to be. So I managed to actually write the soldier's name using freehand machine embroidery. So I was really pleased with that. Okay, so anyway, I'll crack on just with showing you what I have actually made. And the first thing being what I'm wearing, and this is the Tilly and the Buttons Cleo dress. I didn't fully make it this month, obviously, because it was already part made up, and I just changed the pocket section. I took the blue off and put the mustard one on, and added the snaps, the buckles, and then I just put some bias binding on the inside of to edge the facing. So I'll show you that. So I'll show you the facing first. There is the bias binding, if you can see that. Just used a polka dot one, which I bought from Guthrie and Garney in Birmingham. I did want a navy blue one with white spots, but I couldn't find navy blue, so purple had to do. Here we are. This is where I leave my straps flowing, and obviously they don't ever poke out. So I'll stand back to show you this. Okay, so it's just above the knee, slightly more A-line, as I usually do. Nice and fitted at the waist, got back pockets on this one, and I always use the 30mm buckles, which you can buy from Prim at any haberdashery. Excuse me, I've got a cold if I sound a bit bunged up. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with this. This is from Minerva Crafts, this fabric, and it's really good quality. Nice and thick, has a slight stretch in it, so when you sit down it's nice and comfortable. I'm wearing it with my old faithful Tilly and the Buttons Coco top. Yes, that's all I have. A lot have to say about this really. The usual adjustments were made for this, which I think I spoke to you about in my previous vlog, which when I first made the Clio, I cut out a straight size 4. So this bib is still a size 4, but I've now tapered it from a 3 at the waist to a 4 at the hip, and then from the hip it's a 4 down to the bottom, and I added, I think, just under ½ an inch on the bottom, just out slightly. I used a ruler, basically went out to ½ an inch at the bottom just to give it that bit more of an A-line shape, which suits my figure. So I've had quite a few compliments on this already, because I popped it on Instagram, and also I've already worn it today when I've been out and about, so yeah, really pleased with that. So I'll pop on my next make for you. Okay, so my next make is the Toaster Sweater by Sew House 7, and this is that bubble wrap fabric that I showed you. Again, I can't remember where I got it from. I've had it for over a year. Yeah, so, and I know that you can't get this anymore because I have already searched on the internet to try and find it. So if you do find it, just let me know. It's not that I'm looking for anymore, it's just a friend. She was really interested in this fabric, and I tried to look for it and I couldn't find anywhere that sold it. But yeah, super snuggly. Obviously it's got quite a bit of structure, so it's definitely kept the neck up to how it should be. I ended up going with a size medium, yeah, medium. Throughout I didn't make any changes. I used the standard 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Yeah, so I'm happy with the fit on it. I think the hemband, it sits quite snug on me, but I'm quite happy with that because I ended up lengthening the top by, I think it was 2 inches. We'll confirm that in the comments below because I can't actually remember. I'm sure it's 2 inches I lengthened the bodice by, which is pretty standard on a lot of things that I do. I think I've got a long torso. Yeah, it came together super quick. If you had an overlocker, this could be done really quickly, and I haven't done, so I'm going to treat myself to one of those next year. So I'll stand back and show you this. I've just popped it over my Clio, but actually it goes quite nicely together. Yeah, so you can see it's quite snug around my waist, but I don't mind that. It looks really nice with jeans, and also you probably could wear it with the new Ness skirt, I think it is, that Tilly and the Buttons have recently brought out. Yeah, and I like the long cuffs on these, lovely. So it's nice and snuggly and warm. Super chunky this is. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with that. I've been putting it off because, like I said before, I wasn't really sure about what size to make, because my bust came up as a small, waist came up as a medium, and my hips obviously come up as a large. So if I did want that waistband a little bit looser, I'd probably have to grade out to a large at the bottom, because it is, I think on the picture it actually does come in, so it is supposed to be a little bit more fitted. Yeah, and under the arms it's quite nice. There is a bit of excess there, but I've looked on other people's pictures on Instagram and that is quite common, but it doesn't show when you're wearing it, so I'm quite happy with that. If I'd used a large, it would have been massive under there, so yeah. And I think a small might have been a bit more restrictive, so I'm really happy with this. Okay, so on to my next make. Okay, here I am back again. So I've had a massive static attack when taking that toaster sweater off on my hair. So anyway, this is the Coco dress by Tilly and the Buttons, with the blue and white Ponte fabric that I bought from John Lewis, and this is £12 a metre. Now this fabric is the one that I used for making a top for my mother-in-law, and I had problems with skipped stitches and all sorts of stuff. And a lot of people commented on Instagram when I put a photo on to say perhaps it was that I needed a new needle. Anyway, I started off with a new needle for this, and I managed to twin needle the neckline. Again, I think that is because I've got stay tape in there to keep the neckline stable. However, I had issues with it skipping stitches on the cuffs and on the bottom of the hem of this dress, so it's definitely this fabric. So again, I put on Instagram a picture of it skipping the stitches, and a lot of people came back with a few helpful comments on things I could try. So some people said maybe try to stabilise the fabric by putting a bit of interfacing around the hem. Also to try not a jersey needle but a stretch needle, so that's one thing that I need to, I think they said stretch, or a blue point needle, I think it was. Something like that anyway, so that's something I need to try. I haven't had a chance to check out all these different things to fiddle with, and also the tension again to fiddle with that as well. So I have some of this fabric left, so I'm going to do a few test Tesco's on it, because obviously this fabric is really, really durable. It's a really good weight and quality, so it washes really well, it wears really well, it hardly bobbles, and if it does, it's not that noticeable. So it's a fabric that I will want to get again, so I need to get the issues with sewing it sorted. So anyway, I'll stand back so you can see this. Now this one I have lengthened by 2 inches. So when you saw my pink and white one on a previous vlog, that was quite short, and the A-line went literally from the hips out, whereas because I've lengthened this on the short and lengthen line where the bodice is, it sits tighter on my hips than my other one, but it looks absolutely fine, it still fits perfectly, and the A-line is still very visible because this fabric holds the shape. So I'll stand back so you can see it's slightly longer, still got that A-line shape there, but it's just slightly more fitted around my waist area and on my bum a little bit, but I don't mind that because it's still really flattering this shape of dress, so hopefully you can see that. Yeah, so like I say, I did manage to twin needle the neckline there, and then what I actually ended up doing on the cuffs was to, instead of using a zigzag, because I was still having issues with skip stitches on that, I did just one line of stitching at a length of, I think it was about 4mm on the straight stitch, and then I just did another row of that because that seemed to go along fairly well, so that worked. And that was advice that I took from Amanda at I Sew A Lot. She made some little jumpers for her twins, and she said sometimes around the cuffs and the hemband she just does one single line of stitching instead of doing a twin needle, because sometimes it pops, and she said it's, you know, with areas that you don't tend to need to stretch or put a lot of stress on, that works quite well. So I thought, well, I don't really stretch these, and the hem doesn't really get stretched because obviously it's an A-line, so it's quite wide at the bottom, whereas on the neck, that obviously you do stretch on and off over your head, and I don't know, and when children are pulling on it and things like that. So yeah, so I'm really happy with this. I've worn it absolutely loads over the past few weeks, and it goes really well with my Blackwood cardigan, my blue one, and the next make I'm going to show you is the pink one that I've just made, and I'm really happy with that, and that actually goes with this as well, but it has come up slightly tighter on the pink one because the jersey is a tighter weave than the fabric that I use for my blue one, so I tend to wear it with the blue one because obviously you've got 3/4 length sleeves, and if you wear it with my pink one it tends to bunch it up a bit, and getting my hand up there is a little bit awkward sometimes. So anyway, I'm going to pop it on with this just so you can see it. Yeah, and that's all of my makes then for October, I think, along with that piece of bunting for the soldier. Okay, so I'm back in a moment. Okay, here we are. Here's the Blackwood cardigan then, in this lovely pink jersey that I got from Crafty So and So in Leicester on their 3rd birthday at the Sew Leicester event. So I just made the straight size medium. Haven't made any adjustments for the seam allowance. Use the standard, I think it's 3/8 of an inch on this pattern, and then I did the same adjustments to the actual length of the cardigan. Took 2 inches off the hemband and the neckband just to bring it slightly shorter to where I like it, so it's exactly the same length as my blue one. So I'll stand back and show you this. Okay, so you can see it sits again really nicely with the dress at that length. It's really, really comfortable, really soft jersey fabric, and I think this won't bobble at all. It's really nice quality. Yeah, this goes really well with my Monetta dress by Collect Patterns, and I popped a picture of me wearing it with that on my Instagram account. I'll put the link to that in the description box below if you wanted to check it out, and I got a lot of compliments on that as well. It looks really nice together with that dress because it's the blue and white fabric that's a bit lighter. So yeah, yeah, I really like that, and I wore it with a necklace that I bought from a charity shop that it just really goes well with it. So it was quite a nice little outfit, felt really good in it, and I've had quite a few compliments with this cardigan as well. So it goes quite well with this dress as well, and I have tried it on with the Carnaby dress by Nina Lee. Yeah, it goes really well with that that dress. I knew it would. I've still got to hem that dress. I need to crack on with it. I think I've just put it off because of the fitting issues that I had. Well, anyway, I will wear it with this cardigan and some black tights or something. So yeah, really pleased with that. So quite a productive month overall, considering we had half term but I will get those pyjamas done during November. So obviously the next vlog I'll upload is for my November plans. Can't quite believe we are here in November. This year seems to have flown by, especially this past few months. I think probably since my little boy started school, time just seems to fly by. Yeah, so I'll see you next time. Thanks ever so much for watching, as usual, and please like and subscribe to receive notifications for future videos. Tick that bell. So I shall see you next time. Thanks, bye.